How are you doing today?
Good, good. It's been a great week. I love the short weeks, so I'm excited to be here and feeling energized. How
Really,
are
I'm
you?
trying to catch up because it's the short week. So, that's the other side of the coin. But, with school going kids, it gets like, oh, what? Which day did I miss? And yeah, you just get a little disoriented. When you lose a Monday, I get really disoriented. Monday is my most important day as it is with so many people.
Right.
So, Tuesday is just not the same as Monday, is it? Anyway, so yeah, let's get to it because I think we each have only about a half an hour today. So, last time, you know, well, let me just reiterate. This is Wise Wellness. We are now nurturing and advocating for the mental well-being of women in showbiz and beyond. And so we welcome you on this wellness journey with us. And joined with me today is Ektha Agarwal from Shakti Therapy, and I will let her take over and introduce herself.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to be back on this platform after a very rich conversation last
Yeah.
week. My name is Ektha, and I'm a psychotherapist and founder of Shakti Therapy and Healing Services, which is a holistic group practice out here in California, and also the founder of Jiva Mental Health, which is a South Asian mental health nonprofit. Really excited to dig into all things mental health and new, easy, quick tips that you can apply today just to feel better and talk about some cool interventions that are not as much explored in the therapy world. So that'll be fun.
No, I think that's what we need. We need those quick solutions today. Like, what can I do today? Because I have these personally, I'm saying like I have these long work hours and I'm like, to get just some kind of respite in the middle of that and just apply a strategy. And there's, life goes on and it's always spinning, right? And so you have to be able to take account of everything that's going on and be there. And so I'm always dealing with that work-life balance. So I know a lot of women, a lot of people tend to do that, right? They have to have that nice strike of a healthy work-life balance. So, and when you're pursuing that, Ekta, I find myself that, I tend to neglect my own health, my own well-being. It could be something simple like making a doctor's appointment. I could do it for the kids, but when it comes to me, it's like, okay, I'll put me on the calendar at some point. Because like the calendar is so full, right? Like now we have these full calendars, especially with if you have kids and their kids' activities and social calendars. And it's ridiculous, honestly. If you
Yeah.
ask me, so I'm now trying to like, if I get a weekend off, boom, it's just off, right? And I don't want to do nothing. Meaning I don't want to do anything.
Right. Work
uh,
related. You just want to take a break.
yeah, just like slow it down, on Memorial Day, I went and just bathed under a waterfall. And I was just, just relieved by just like, I don't know, it felt like it just lifted so much from me that I had. And, something simple like that,
I
something
love
simple like
that.
what a 3 mile hike when you find a waterfall can do, you know? But yeah, let's talk about how we could, maybe do that more and how we could apply some effective strategies, in order to maintain that healthy work-life balance.
Yeah, I think first, let me just say that every time you put yourself second, every part of your body is listening to you and it's
Yeah.
being reinforced that you're not important, you're not as worthy. And I know as a mother, as a woman, as a person, that is not your intention. And our actions are speaking so much louder than our intentions and our words and our thoughts. And so every time you skip out on that doctor's appointment, there's a part of you that gets reinforced that I'm not as important. I'm not as worthy. And as a parent, you are so important. You're the vital piece of bringing up
And
your
that's what I'm telling my
children
kids,
into the family.
right? I'm telling that to my kids. I just have to now put it into my own action. I know.
Yeah.
It's just, half these things I feel like Ekta, we all know because we've heard it, we've seen it, and it's we don't want to take all the bad past down, and we want to, erase the slate and, do something new for us that, probably we didn't get done to ourselves in this generation. And then you want to pass that on to your other generations. So I do feel like, we do need to concentrate more on us, and that's not giving the right sign for sure.
Absolutely. And, there are things you can do very quickly. One of my favorites are micro meditations. Everyone talks about meditation and it feels big and daunting and scary. It's like, I don't have time for that. I can't clear my thoughts right now.
Yeah.
But micro meditations are 3 to 5 minutes. I lean closer to the 3-minute mark, and it's truly so simple and easy. You can do it before you drive out somewhere, before you walk into a place. And my favorite micro meditation is a pranic healing meditation, where I envision this like bright white light washing over me through an inhale, and through the exhale, I envision black, smoky, dark energy just moving into the earth to be transmuted. It's simple, it's calming, it's shown to regulate your nervous system, and it's effective. So that's one that, we can all try. And for all us busy women, busy people, planning. As women, we keep everything in the head, and we're so good at multitasking, but that doesn't mean we have to do it, because it does create anxiety, it does create stress. And we're always thinking, oh, what's going to slip? What did I forget? Did I do this? Did I do that? And so every morning.
And that checklist, it just keeps coming up, right? And it won't go away until you've done it, because you've set these standards for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so you just plan, like,
the guilty there.
You and I both.
Yeah.
So you just plan, like, what are 3 things I need to do today to feel accomplished? I know that list is much larger than 3, but if you did these 3 things, you would feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop there. I think people just leave it at that. But what I like to add to that planning process is, what is one thing I can do to pour into myself? When you pour into yourself, you have capacity then to give even more. And that little intention to invest in the things you need to do and invest in yourself is a beautiful way to guide your day. And it's not only focused on do, but it's focused on being. It puts us in that state that as humans, we are human beings, not human doings.
And it reminds, I like that.
Yeah.
Human beings. That's, it's these simple things. I find, like, these simple little things that, you tell your mind. And that's really profound, actually. Human beings. You got to think of it that way. Not
right.
Doing.
But we act as human doings, right?
Right.
So,
that's right. Humans are always doing.
Absolutely. And, just even you pointing out the change in words. I think a third one I might even say is word choice. All the time it's like, oh, I have to drop the kids. Oh, I have to go for this interview. Oh, I have to turn in this project. Oh, I have this deadline. That is heavy. And it weighs on us, and our word choice creates our emotion.
Right.
And as soon as you start to change, I have to, oh, I get to drop the kids. Oh, I get to turn in this project. Oh, I get to do this. There's this sense of lightness and the sense of opportunity that begins to fall into place. And there's gratitude that kind of goes in with, ooh, I get, right? Because it's given to you. It's a gift. It's a chance.
Yeah, I like that. I practice word choice a lot. I consciously change what I'm saying. But yeah, I do the have. I did not think about that one. It's these mundane, everyday words that you have in your vocabulary that you could change up. And in doing so, you're changing your action and your intention and your thought process. That's really cool.
And they're so simple. They're so quick. And the effect is tremendous, right? So for that busy person, you can micro-meditate. You can change your word choice. You can plan all within less than 5 minutes.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I love that. And also, I think as we grow older, I'm a woman in my 40s. We also tend to, put off our yearly physical exams. I can't stress enough how important that is, right? Because you don't know what, creeps up on those things, and you want to be able to prevent those things and detect it early on, whatever that may be, a disorder, a tumor, who knows, God forbid. But you need to be able to detect that. So for that, we need to push ourselves for our physical every year, by the clock. And it's just so important. I was talking to an old acquaintance, Manisha Corella. You guys must know her, the superstar Indian actress, who I was just podcasting with for our season finale. And she was really stressing because she had suffered ovarian cancer, and,
Wow.
and she found out at the last stage, right? And so she's like, I don't know why I neglected it. I put this off. I didn't have to do that. And if I had just gone regularly, or if I had listened to my body more. But what she finally did, she did find out that, lo and behold, it was something dangerous. And
Wow.
when she was near death, I mean, her life completely was flashing in front of her, and, it changes. But the point is, it doesn't have to, be that way. You could change the course early on, and all you really have to do is do those physical exams. Again, guilty. I really do need to work on, scheduling that in for myself, like right at the peak of 1 year, within that year, I must do it.
I think a lot of people forget that a female's body goes through so many significant changes from menstruation to giving childbirth, menopause. And we as females, we're portals. We bring spirit into matter. We bring life through the body. And so that needs to be tended with love and care, compassion and affection, and consistent checkups, right? That's part of it.
Simple like that, right?
Yeah.
But so needed and so important.
Absolutely. If we had a magical portal, we'd take so much care of it because we understand the value. But as soon as we start to begin to see ourselves as those portals, I think there's something that shifts that, gosh, I get to honor and love my body in this way.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. Well, a lot of lessons to learn for each of us, including myself. I think these sessions help me in getting more proactive about my own body and mind too. So thank you for that, Ektha.
Oh, good reminder.
These are good reminders. We need them like so much more often. And, I always say showbiz, especially, and mental health go hand in hand, because this is such a high stress, high pressure place for women.
Absolutely.
Because of the lack of and the disparity in. So yeah, it's mind boggling, the kind of pressures and the long hours. They don't help.
And what I'll say is, even when you advocate for yourself, the medical field is just starting to catch up when it comes to women's health.
Right.
A lot of the research, a lot of the practices are so focused on the average white male. And so for me, I recently was diagnosed with fibroids, and that's after I was fainting, severely constipated, severe pain. And I've been meaning about this for over 5 years. I went to 3 doctors. They tried to tell me I was premenopausal, though I am so far from that. And
you're with your doctors and there's diagnoses. I mean,
yeah.
And you hear? I'm sorry. I have to point out here, and then we'll continue the story. But do you remember that whole thing that went viral with Halle Berry, where she wanted she came out where her doctor was like, not even saying the word menopause, and she was actually going through it, and he wouldn't even say it, let alone treat it. And so that is shocking to me. In 2024, a doctor, he's male, I don't care. My guy was male for the longest time. Cannot say the word menopause like it's some kind of, taboo.
Right.
How many things in society do people need to be stigmatized? It's ridiculous, especially when it comes to women.
Absolutely.
I had a dialogue yesterday. Oh, they just don't like it when women are happy. And I'm like, that is so true.
Something about one.
It's so weird. these things. But yes, continue, because that was like mind-boggling to me when it happens to a big, known figure like that. Imagine what the underprivileged or the underrepresented can go through in their
I think
own medical systems, and the lack of good health and proper health care.
it humanizes us, right? It shows that despite your socioeconomic status, healthcare is still catching up for women's health. And I think there is a lot of fear, and it's that fear of I don't have enough information possibly, or I don't understand this fully. And, as I was making my fibroid, I had to continue to advocate for myself. So despite the 3 healthcare practitioners, I went to an Ayurvedic doctor who all they did was touch my stomach. And she was like, "Oh, I think you have fibroids. Never heard of this before in my life."
This is why I love Ayurveda.
Yeah. Yeah.
My daughter's in Ayurveda. But anyway,
it is so wild. And what I learned is
yeah.
49% of Asian Americans have fibroids. And I had never heard of it until this year. Why is no one talking about it? How has anyone else gotten surgery? I felt so
49%. That's a staggering number.
Huge. It's huge.
Now.
I 100% would get it checked. Yeah, I mean, we should do regular checkups for this. And
you need to hook me up with that Ayurvedic practitioner. Let me go there.
If you need someone in LA, I have fantastic healthcare team professionals.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's we've got to keep advocating, and then secondly, we've got to talk about this. I mean, when I was going through this, I felt so alone, and there was one friend who came out and said, "Oh, I've been diagnosed and I had surgery," and she ended up being there for me. But even through that process, she said, "Oh, please don't tell anyone."
Yeah.
And so it makes me realize, like, gosh, there's so much shame that we hold around a female body.
Yeah.
And that we're worried about judgments. What are people going to think? And it's so wild.
To myself and to others, get over it. And get over yourself and just get over it. Honestly, we don't have the time, get it together, people. Like, this is your health. It's not a joke. And it is going to creep up. And if you do want that longevity and that quality of life, then you better get over it and get with it.
Yeah.
Please. I'm telling myself first.
Absolutely. And the more we talk about it, the more we normalize it, the more we as women, as people, we can start to support each other. And this experience doesn't have to be dark solitude alone. And we break that healthcare professionals to our own storytelling.
100%. 100%. And what preventive measures do you think we can take? Like, to prioritize mental health? I don't know. I know you're not familiar with our entertainment biz, but I'd like to know something, and I'm sure our audience would like to know.
Yeah, I think a big one is for folks in showbiz and they're so proactive and great about getting a voice coach, a health coach, and an agency to help with the acting. That one other coach I would recommend is get a therapist, get a mental health coach who is supporting your development. Being in showbiz, it is a roller coaster of emotions. There's hope and then despair. Anxiety and then grief. I mean, there's just so much happening that having someone who can help you regulate your nervous system during those times, it's going to allow you to show up more authentically, more confidently.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Again, because I'm one of those girls, again, that likes to self-medicate. That like, okay, well, because we have all these pass downs from our mothers and grandmothers, and I tend to think, oh, it's nothing, it'll go away. But now when you're over 40, you better just get a check, girl.
Yeah,
myself. Just get a check. You never know. But having a therapist could never be a bad thing. Remember last week when we had Ramona on, And she was very vocal and open about the fact that she was in therapy and that she has a therapist. And I love that. And what is the shame in that? Honestly, I mean, you know, we tend to lose our balance all the time. All you're trying to do is balance yourself, so you're good out there and you're good for yourself.
Mhm.
You know,
I actually see therapy as goodness, I just
and
forgot what I was gonna say.
I love what this person's saying: coherence, coaching, you know, and everything they've been saying. It's so true. We do need to educate men about these issues too. Like, and it's not just the women, but I agree with you there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I think another one is I'm a big fan of holistic therapy and looking at the mind spirit connection. Bodies are always talking to us. So before you have that anxiety attack, before you hit that deep depression, there's so many clues that your body is giving you. It could be aches. It could be changes in sleep, changes in diet. That a question when I have a shift in my body, I just like to ask, what are you trying to tell me? And I close my eyes and I hold space for that answer.
Yeah.
You would be surprised to learn what your body is actually trying to tell you if you pause and listen. But we're in survivor mode and we're just go, 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 go. We're bulldozing over all the signs and all the conversations our body is trying to have with us.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? Listen to your body. How many times can we stress that? I mean, you got to listen to it. There's little signs that they will tell you even before a grave danger is coming. You know, something is forming in your body. It will tell you. Same conversation I was having with Manisha yesterday. And she was just so open and so vocal about it. I guess when you go through it, right, Ektha, you feel like I should share this with the world. I should, you know, so that they don't have to suffer. And it's nice to share. It's really nice to be vocal and share experiences. That's another thing. So that, you know, it's like, I always give that example. It's like that kid that's always raising his hand in class, right? But I'm sure 20 other kids want to ask the same question. They're just not doing it.
Right.
Right. So it's really just the same thing. You know, if you share, you never know, someone else might just benefit. And that's how we will collectively heal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I think the last tip I'll maybe even share here is food. We are not talking about food enough, but food and your relationship with food develops in childhood. You will overeat or undereat to comfort yourself when you are young. And it's so interesting because that transcends into adulthood. And what we put in our bodies directly impacts our thoughts.
Yeah.
People don't really know that serotonin is developed in the gut, not in the brain. And it's responsible for things like depression and anxiety. So what you eat can impact your depression and your anxiety. And for busy people, it's easy to grab that fast food, that bag of chips, that, you know, jar of cookies. Right. And what is that doing to our depression? What is that doing to our anxiety? Versus minutes and getting something that our body is going to process in a way that's going to serve us. I'm not saying no chips, no cookies. I'm all about that, but be intentional about it.
Right. That's true. Like, apply yourself. Don't just like put it in your mouth because it's there or available. I got to tell this to my 12-year-old daughter all the time. I'm like, you know, my mother always says, and my spiritual guru always says, your body is not a garbage can. Do not put just anything in it. Be conscious, you know, have the intention, know what you're doing, why you're doing it. It's so important. You know, we don't give that importance enough. Oh yeah. Food is just taken for granted all the time.
Yeah.
You know, cause it's
just comment.
And yeah. What were you saying? Sorry.
I love that comment, that gut health as emotional health. That is so well put.
Oh yes, for sure. Oh my God, yes. Yeah, and clean eating, right? How important is clean eating? Thankfully, I make a lot of Indian food, and all our ingredients are like made from scratch, so that's really good. But you have to put that effort into it. I know people don't have the time, but I'm not saying make Indian food. I'm just saying whatever you make, let's try to use clean ingredients. All of that food really affects the power of our brain and
Yeah.
how we function. I was listening to one of the gurus the other day where they made a point, and it was like, I think, The Art of Living. And they said, if you put on this light, spiritual music while you're cooking, all of that energy and the vibrations is going into your food. And then that energy is what you imbibe. And that's how you're actually eating the food. So all of the blessings of the universe are right there in your food if you do this habit. And I started playing it all the time. And they're like, just leave it on 24 hours. It doesn't matter. And I have an old radio in my kitchen. So whenever I'm there, I'm cooking. It's like a thing in this house. Like if she's in there, she's got the music on and she's cooking. But now I understand why, right? And it puts me in a good mood. And if I'm in a good mood, I'm putting the right vibrations in the food, cooking it for the family. Yeah, so that's a big, powerful thing too. Little things like this, right, in life that you could change and do and imbibe, and it really does have a lasting effect if you do it as a habit, right? That's what we got to do. We have to change our everydays and make better habits, right? Better practices.
I like that. Better practices that are rooted in intention versus the act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, well, this was fun. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you, Ektha, for a lot of these little solutions and strategies and, coping methods that we could, imbibe in our lives and every day. And we will see you guys at the next one. This was so important. If you guys have any questions about anything, write into us. We have a helpline, help@wiseonline.org. We will direct you to, the right therapist. Ektha, leave your information if they want to get in touch with you.
Sure. Yeah, I love questions, comments. If you have something that you're thinking about when it comes to mental health, DM me, ask me. You can find me also on our website at www.shaktitherapyhealing.com. And
you guys give free consultations, guys. So if you were down in the pits or you need help, be vocal and help yourself and call up Shakti.
Want to personally develop, right? Therapy isn't about depression and anxiety. It's also about elevating yourself, and a free 15-minute consultation. Yeah, sign up.
Sign up, guys. You heard it. And we will see you with the next one. Thank you. Have a good day, Ektha.
Bye.
Hey, everyone. Bye.